Hi guys, my name is Jasmine and welcome to Jasmine's World. In today's video, I'm going to be reacting to a story that my sister and my friend wrote, Mia and Ariana. They wrote this a couple years ago and I remember reading it and I was like, oh my god, this book is so bad. That's why I think it would be funny to react to it. Guys, if you're watching this, please don't be insulted. I know, because it's like little kids don't write that great. You were younger. I wrote like a chapter in this story, and then I really enjoyed writing like in this specific like world, this fictional school that they're in. So I wrote the second and the third book. Let's check out this first book before we talk about the second and the third book. All right. Okay, so they changed the title like multiple times. They changed it from like Adventures of the Anderson Siblings or something, and then the Great Oak High School, and then now it's apparently the Events of Not So Lucky Siblings. Oh yeah, I think the first name was Adventures at Sunny Island. I'm pretty sure they don't live on an island, and it's not called Sunny Island, but I don't know. Anyway, Not So Lucky Siblings. Okay. I guess that doesn't seem like a good title, but we'll ignore that. Oh my god, I literally just looked at chapter 7. Chapter 7. Standing up. That's kind of a weird chapter name. Anyway, I'm pretty sure there are more than 7 chapters, but yeah, we'll see. Chapter 1, The Letters. Dearest Adriana and May Anderson, you will be starting your high school years at the Sunnyvale School. Your classrooms will be in the high school building, but you will eat your meals in the same area as the middle schoolers and college students. The part of the campus with the high school classrooms is the Great Oak High School. Some classes won't be held in Great Oak High School. They'll be held in the center of the campus. All of the years have different classrooms in that area, as well as their middle school, high school, or college parts of the campus. Please note that school shall start on September 1st, and that all students will be taken to school in a bus. Safe travels! Sincerely, Raphaela Clark, headmistress of Great Oak High School. Okay, that part where it says headmistress of Great Oak High School, she's actually headmistress of the entire school, so I don't know why it said that. So basically, the school is like a very large campus with the multiple schools in it. So I actually made a map recently. It's a pretty big school, but basically there's a middle school in it called Oak Sapling Middle School. They never mention the name in the books, but I thought that would be a good name for the middle school since the high school is called Great Oak High School. And then the college is called Sunnyvale University. I'm calling it Sunnyvale University because the school was named Sunnyvale School. I don't know why it was named that, but Ariana named it that, I think. So, yeah. Also, someone originally wrote that the school was located in Auckland, but I thought that'd be a bad idea to write about a school in New Zealand since none of us have actually been there. So I changed it to Santa Cruz, but I didn't change it in this book because, as you can see, I have comment-only access. I asked Mia the other day, and she was like, no, they live in Oakland. I'm like, but somebody wrote Auckland. I didn't just hear Auckland. Somebody literally wrote it. Anyway. So this beginning letter wasn't too bad. Okay, school needs for studying. School needs? Interesting way of putting it. Okay. Helen Marshall's book of complex arithmetic. What's arithmetic? Even I don't know that, and I'm a freshman. These girls are freshmen. Kevin Harris's super languages secrets. What? How to act like a high schooler? What? Is that considered a school need for studying? Dangerous traumas in the open. If you have any questions, come visit my office. Chapter 2, Great Oak High School. 2 girls had woken up from a lovely night. Their names were May and Adriana Anderson. They had 2 older siblings, Lucas and Rena, who were both twins, 3 years older than them. May was an energetic girl, and Adriana was a chill and thoughtful girl. They were both 14, and they were both starting their first year of high school at Sunnyvale School. The girls were very excited for their new school year at Sunnyvale School, so they were up and ready for school 3 hours before the buses arrived. When the buses arrived, the girls got in without hesitation. They admired the pictures of the past middle school, high school, and college students from Sunnyvale School that were displayed along the inside of the bus. What? I'm pretty sure the buses didn't belong to Sunnyvale School. They were just random buses. And when the school finally came into view, the girls stared at it admiringly. It was a beautiful school. They should have put in some description. Actually, yesterday, I added some description about how the school looked in the third book, because I like to be able to paint a picture, but in this, there was no picture at all. It just says it was a beautiful school. As the school came more into sight, the girls noticed that it was big. Oh, really? Oh, really? A school with 3 different schools inside of it is big. Never would have realized. Really big, okay. I almost forgot how big our school was. I can't wait to see our dorms again after all this time, said May excitedly. Could you chill? I'm honestly not as pumped as you about this whole new section of the school thing, Adriana replied dully. Should have just said new school, not new section of the school. That doesn't sound right. Don't be such a fun killer, May snapped. As they entered the school, they walked along with the other students blending in with the crowd. They found a group of girls standing in the corner and they walked toward them. The other girls were there to go to middle school and were way younger than they were. They introduced themselves and walked to the main hall together. They should have at least said the names. Who are these kids? And why do they want to be friends with middle schoolers? They sat beside each other and waited for the headmaster to speak. It's headmistress, guys. Rafaela Clark. Welcome to another year at Sunnyvale School, said Professor Clark, beaming down at all the students. Everyone cheered. The student heads of houses for high school are Lucas Anderson, Rena Anderson, Aiden Yang, and Jolene Johnson. Lucas's dorm will be of the unicorn, Rena's the mermaid, Aiden is dragon, and finally Jolene's is the fairy. You pronounced my name wrong, Rena shouted. Oh wait, sorry. I was supposed to mispronounce her name. Professor Clark pronounced it as Rena, but you pronounced my name wrong, Rena shouted. Rena, I've been at the school for 7 years and still. Everyone laughed. Professor Clark smiled. My apologies, Rena. Wow, that's the end of the chapter? That wasn't a very good end of the chapter. Okay, chapter 3, dorms. Good name, okay. The boys and girls separated into their dorms. The heads of houses would lead the people with dorms in the West Tower first, then the people with dorms in the East Tower, then the South Tower, then the 2 North Towers. It's actually 1 North Tower and 2 South Towers. I changed that. For the West Tower girls in the blah, blah, blah. This is so not interesting. Why are we naming everybody? Everybody. Okay, let's skip past this part. That's so many paragraphs. My God. They all headed for lunch after exploring their dorms. Exploring their dorms? I'm pretty sure their dorms aren't very big. Okay. They were all happy except Lucas. And they soon found out why. Because when Lucas's house was passing, Adriana and May heard someone whispering about the headmistress calling on Lucas for detention on accident, even though Lucas didn't do anything. That doesn't make sense. Nobody can just get detention on accident. They felt sorry for Lucas because he was their brother and a very close friend. A very close friend. That's funny because later in the book, they don't seem like very close friends. Anyway, they ended up eating a delicious meal with lots of appetizers and a delicious dessert. Then they headed back to the outside of their dorms to collect their schedule for the week as it was Sunday. Okay, was there any dialogue besides the whole Rena thing? Oh yeah, there was a little bit. There's hardly any dialogue here. They didn't talk at all during dinner. They were focused on reading their schedules, which seemed to go on and on. Really? You're in high school. I only have 6 periods. Students followed their house leaders, Lucas, Aiden, Jolene, and Rena, up to their dorms after dessert, but were very reluctant to go to bed. In fact, none of them seemed to want to go to bed. May and Adriana were watching the rest of their dorms go to bed to make sure none of them were awake before they started texting. I get it. I wouldn't want to go to bed either, but look at our schedules. We have a long day ahead of us, May texted, impatient to wait. I'm confused. Oh, May thinks that they should go to bed. But up here it says, in fact, none of them seem to want to go to bed. And it says here, they were watching the rest of their dorms to make sure none of them were awake. So they were the ones who were awake past everybody else. But May's saying that they should go to sleep. This is so weird. Okay. I get why the middle schoolers might want to stay up, but the high schoolers, we have tests, unlike the middle schoolers. The high schoolers should be studying from the minute school starts, Adriana replied to May. Yes, but just the same, we all have a long day ahead of us. Even the middle schoolers shouldn't have stayed up so late. By the way, if you think we shouldn't stay up too late. Okay, why are you awake, May texted. Partying, duh, Adriana responded. Aren't you? I thought Adriana was a chill one. I feel like our authors here have mixed up the personalities a bit. What? The only reason I stayed up was to study. I thought you were doing the same, May typed. What? May was studying? This doesn't make any sense. Like, May's not a studier. I thought just that Adriana was one who studies. Okay. Feeling angry about her lazy sister, but May's the lazy one. Whatever, Adriana texted back good night. They went aside and turned off their phones. Oh, yay, another chapter done. Chapter 4, Astronomy. Okay, is astronomy even class? Do people actually take astronomy? Like, I heard of that in Harry Potter, but like, okay, as the girls sat at breakfast the next morning, they suddenly became immersed in looking at their schedules. They could now see where the required school books fitted in. That sounds like Mia's grammar right there. They had some new high school classes that they didn't have in middle school. Power adding? What the heck is power adding? Latin myths and legends. What? Chemistry? Chemistry is a sophomore class. And astronomy. The girls were pumped and ready to start the day. Their first class was astronomy, where they would learn about moons and planets and all the kinds of stuff in the solar system. They got up from breakfast and headed there when they met Lucas along the way. He, too, was exiting the hall. He was going the other way and waved to them. They smiled and waved back. He was with 3 of his best friends, Benel, Ryland, and Alex. Oh my god! I literally forgot that Alex even existed. Who is Alex? In the other books I write about Benel and Ryland, but I forgot about Alex. Like, who's Alex? You know, whatever. Let's say that Alex moved or something, but he's still at the school in this book. They were heading to test study class. Is that a class? Okay. Adriana sneaked a glimpse of her brother editing one of his new YouTube videos. His friends were trying to get him to edit faster so that they could watch it. Lucas had black wavy hair on the top of his head, which grew fairly quickly. They should have put the description at the beginning. Lucas was 3 years older than May and Adriana, and though they liked him, he could be very annoying to them both. As the girls traveled farther down the hall, they saw arrows leading toward the astronomy tower. Arrows? But what if someone else was, going to a different class and they saw those arrows? They were like, oh, well, maybe this leads to my class. How is this so convenient for them? At least say arrows that say astronomy on the arrows and not just random arrows. Astronomy must take place somewhere special, Adriana thought. Since it's daylight, we can't see the planets, moons, and stars. Moons? Pretty sure there's only one moon. So they might have put something so that we can still see them without having to make our class take place at twilight. Bro, that was a 1-page chapter. Chapter 5, A Big Mistake. They called it astronomy, but they didn't even have their class in that chapter. Classes went smoothly after their first lesson. Wow, they literally just skipped past all of that. My god. Okay, they had an idea of the teachers and their classes and were able to choose which classes they would want to continue taking for next semester. For next semester? You're citing that already? Okay. And which they would want to drop. By the time winter break had come... What? No, what? Are you actually serious? They skipped over an entire semester? By the time winter break had come, the girls had their bags packed and ready for the buses to take them home. As they hurried down the hall to get to the bus stop, they met Rena and Lucas, who were also hurrying to get there on time. When they walked through the doors, Lucas's jacket got stuck and Rena stayed behind to help. The girls took this time to go to the bathroom and finish some last-minute things and stuff they had forgotten to do. In the bathroom? Last-minute things in the bathroom? Okay. By the time they had gotten back, Rena and Lucas weren't there, and neither was the bus. Panicking, they took the nearest carriage. Okay, so why the school has carriages, I have no idea. I think I got rid of the carriages in the second and third book. Anyway, the carriage started leaving with Adriana and May as the only passengers. Wait, I thought they were taking the bus. I'm so confused. And the girls realized that they had gotten on the wrong carriage. This wasn't the carriage to get to the dorms. It was some random rich teacher's carriage that they were driving home. Wait, what? I'm so confused. They weren't trying to take a carriage to the dorms. They were trying to take a carriage home. And what do you mean some random rich teacher's carriage? Help, help, May cried. May, yelling isn't going to get us anywhere. There's no one around except the carriage driver, and he's got his earbuds in. If we shake him, we might get into a car accident, said Adriana. There indeed was no one around. The only life besides them was the bus driver. The girls suddenly arrived in a forest. What? There was apparently a random mansion in the middle of the forest. The driver got out and went through the gates. The girls got out of the carriage and looked around, alone and helpless. Suddenly, they heard voices calling their names. Just as she entered the classroom... Oh, this was supposed to be on the astronomy one. Okay. I guess we're going back to chapter 4 astronomy, and then going back to that page, okay. Since it's daylight, we can't see the planets, moons, and stars, so they might have to put something up so that we can see them without having to make our class take place at twilight. Just as she entered the classroom, she realized she was correct. There was a giant poster draped over the ceiling and was attached by a very strong tape. She and May did not see their teacher, but since everybody was exploring the classroom, they did so as well. Just as they were doing so, however, their teacher jumped out of nowhere and attempted to scare them. What kind of a teacher does that? Welcome, she said. My name is Professor Leah, and I will be teaching your astronomy class. Hi, the class exclaimed at the professor. They knew about the way planets orbited the sun and about some different constellations. Before they knew it, class was over. That was actually pretty fun, May said. I can't wait for next class. Next chapter, winter break. Okay, where were we? Okay, here. The girls... Oh, yeah, suddenly they heard voices calling their names. This is in the forest. Their hearts skipped a beat at the same time, feeling horrified and anxious. Surely they were not forgotten. Rena and Lucas ought to have noticed they had not come home and decided to look for them. How did they just look for people who had gotten lost in some random rich person's carriage? Like, how did they just find them? Okay. The voices came nearer and nearer, and the girls were now able to distinguish them. The voices were definitely Rena and Lucas's. How did they know where we were? Mia wondered. Okay, so originally in this story, these characters were apparently based off of our friends in real life. So, they had to change the names, though, because we couldn't have our friends' names in it. Apparently, I was Rena. I'm nothing like her. Not as if you know anything about Rena right now. There is no personality at all for her. Like, literally, it's just her name. You don't know her at all. And apparently, it's already winter break. How come we don't know anything about these characters? Adriana called Lucas's anxious voice. May, said Rena's worried voice. They came through the trees and reunited with their siblings. They hugged each other deeper and deeper each second. May was so grateful and glad that they had been found that she started crying into Rena's arms. They had learned their lesson. They would be more careful next time and would never make this mistake of going to do something else right before the bus was about to leave ever again. I think that was quite enough for today. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. And please comment your suggestions down below. And make sure to leave a comment if you want a part 2. Bye!